Some say if you look into her eyes long enough, you might find a peep or two in there. Hi everyone, my name is Stormi the Folf, and today I wanted to give y'all a bit of a basic rundown to different types and styles of fursuits. Now, I've talked in the past about how to get and how not to get a fursuit, so those videos will be linked down in the description below and in the card above my head somewhere. However, today I wanted to explain the different types and styles of fursuits that exist today. Yeah, I should have did a better job on this script. Say you're a new suitor, and you're in the market for a fursuit. What do you want it to look like? Just how much do you want to break your bank account? I mean, how far do you want to take your fursuit? Well, today's video will give you a little guidance in that aspect. First, let's talk about the level of completion, aka different types of fursuits. There are generally 4 different styles of completion. You got mini partials, a regular partial, a 3/4 partial, and of course, a full suit. A mini partial usually consists of a head, hand paws, and of course, a tail. This is usually the cheapest option for a fursuit that you'll find. Now, the next step up is a basic partial, which is almost exactly like a mini partial, except they usually come with a pair of feet paws. Basically, a mini partial is going to be the bare minimum of what it takes to really start a fursuit. You can have a mini partial that only has the head and the paws pretty much. Anyway, mini partials and partials in general are highly recommended for younger suitors who are still growing and or for those who are new to fursuiting, or if you're on a tight budget, or both, or all 3. Anyway, if you're a younger furry, you don't want to spend a bunch of money on a fursuit just to grow out of it and have to spend even more money for a new one or have it retailored. Fursuiting can be a very costly venture if you're not done growing yet. If you're fully grown, all you gotta do is just buy the fursuit one time and that's it. At least until it needs to be replaced anyway. Fursuits don't last forever. If you're still growing, you'll have to buy a new suit or get it retailored every 6 months to a year. I strongly suggest just getting a minimal partial if you really want a fursuit and you're still growing. That way, once you do outgrow the fursuit, you won't be spending as much time as you would on a regular full suit. But still, it can become financially prohibitive since, again, you're still growing and your fursuit head may not fit you anymore 6 months to a year from now. The next step up from a regular partial suit would be a 3/4 partial suit. This kind of partial includes the addition of a bottom piece, essentially a pair of furry pants. For those of you that have been following me since the dark ages, you probably know I used to have a 3/4 partial digigrade full suit. 3/4 suits are a good middle ground for those who really want to get close to the full suit experience, but they don't want to risk burning up as quickly, while at the same time retaining your furry, anthropomorphic appearance. Another 3/4 fursuit example would be the one with the head, the sleeves, the paws, the torso, the tail, and the feet portions. You'd have to wear your own pants or be like me and just get some Sonic pajamas because I like Sonic a lot more than most people should. And the final level of fursuit completion is the full suit. This is the whole shebang. The head, the bodysuit, arm sleeves, hand paws, tail, legs, and feet paws. Fursuit completionists, this is your thing. These are generally the most expensive and time-consuming fursuits to make, simply because, well, there's more material and labor involved with making a full suit. Now that we've covered levels of fursuit completion, let's talk about fursuit style. When it comes to fursuits, there are 4 common styles of fursuits you can choose from: toony, realistic, semi-realistic, and Kemono. Of course, there are other specific fursuit styles out there, but for this video, I'm going to focus on the 4 most common types. Toony suits are, well, just that. They have a more cartoonish look about them. Some common features of toony suits are larger eyes, oversized ears, big paws like mine, they're puffy paws, sizable snoots, and nice big smiles that are more exaggerated than my affinity for potatoes. My own fursuit would be considered a toony style fursuit. Of course, toony suits do have their own sort of subset of styles. While my suit is on the toony side, a fursuit head by, say, More for Less would be more on the wacky, zany side of tooniness. Just look at how exaggerated the eyes, ears, and the overall expression is on this particular suit. Not saying it's a bad thing, mind you. More for Less are really good at this sort of thing. Personally, I love their style. If you've seen Picari Rue, she has a More for Less fursuit. Some say, if you look into her eyes long enough, you might find a peep or two in there. Now, another style, again, similar to toony style fursuits, but not quite, are Kemono style fursuits. Kemono fursuits take inspiration from Japanese anime and basically combine it with anthropomorphism. K-Line, or Kemono Line, a maker of kimono fursuits, has gained popularity in recent years, but before you dig into your bank account or PayPal, be aware there is a lot of red tape involved with getting a K-Line fursuit, on top of being selected, on top of a pretty hefty price tag. Of course, kimono fursuits aren't strictly limited to K-Line, but there aren't a lot of makers, at least that I'm aware of, who offer this style for the moment. Depending on your situation and how much you want one, it might be worth all the trouble. It just depends on what you want. Like, for example, check out this photo of Sherbert. See the anime resemblance in the eyes? By the way, if anime and furries are your thing, you should totally check out his zany YouTube channel. It's just awesome. You'll see what I mean. Link in description. Okay, so let's change channels and talk about realistic fursuits. Realistic suits, although less common, still have a fairly large following in the furry fandom. Suits like this will usually include anatomically correct sizes and dimensions, realistic eyes and claws, and accurate fur patterns and markings. The main difference between a toony suit and a realistic suit is usually pretty obvious. Does the fursuit closely resemble an animal you might find in real life? Chances are it's probably a realistic suit. Does the fursuit have facial features such as a large or elongated eyes, enormous ears, and is covered in color fur that you'd never ever spot in the wild or in nature? It's probably a toony suit in that case. But what if you see a fursuit that appears to be both realistic and toony? That's what we call a semi-realistic suit, or semi-toony suit. Semi-realistic suits have aspects of both toony and realistic suits, like a hybrid or a blend of both. An example would be a wolf suit having realistic facial structure combined with cartoon eyes, like this example. Now let's talk about legs. You're gonna have to ask yourself a bit of a strange question. What kind of legs do you want on your fursuit? It might seem bizarre, but fursuits typically have two different styles of leg shapes: plantigrade and digigrade. Plantigrade legs are more human-shaped. They are form-fitted for the wearer's actual legs. Digigrade legs, however, are more animal-shaped. These legs use padding or stuffing to give the thighs and calves more of a rounded and angled shape, just as if a feral animal were actually standing on two legs. The leg shape you choose can have an effect on the final price of your fursuit. Digigrade legs tend to cost more due to the additional labor and padding material involved, but they do look more realistic, curvy, and can definitely make you stick out amongst the crowd. There is an additional cost, however, and it's not about money. Me personally, I find it easier to walk in plantigrade legs as opposed to digigrade. Plantigrade legs may not look as appealing if you really want that animal appearance with your legs or whatever, but for me, they are just far easier to walk in. Depending on how thick those digigrade legs are, you might be waddling to the headless lounge like trying not to die. I need water. But yeah, now I'd like to talk about specialty suit styles, like quad suits. These types of suits are specially designed to make the character move and act more like a feral animal. That means they actually walk on four legs. These styles of fursuits are quite rare, but they are incredibly unique. One well-known quad suit maker would be Beast Cub Creations. When it comes to getting into a quad suit, however, they are not easy to put on. Reason being, they require a partner and a spotter to put on the suit, and while you're wearing it most of the time. So that's 3 people you need to operate one fursuit. You'd better have a handler. They are also crazy expensive. Even the cheapest quad suits can start around $6,000. There aren't too many makers that do quad suits as well, so if you have your heart set on a quad suit, be prepared to spend a lot of time saving money, and of course a long time waiting for commissions to open up. As you get into more and more specialized types of fursuits, you find that they tend to cost more, but you're also going to be waiting longer to find someone with a free commission slot, because that's just how it is. Plush suits. These suits are specifically designed to look like a plush stuffed animal. They are incredibly adorable. And like kimono suits, they have been rising in popularity recently as well. One popular maker of plush suits is Autumn Falling. Now, due to the style of these suits and how they're constructed, they can be very bulky, which can cause you to overheat even faster if you're not careful, so think about that. Another thing to note, the paws don't have fingers, so it will be nearly impossible to use your hands while in a suit. Like, if you try to pick up a bottle of water, let alone open a door or something, you're gonna have to ask your handler to help you with that. That's something to keep in mind if you're thinking about commissioning a plush suit. It's not a decision to take lightly considering how much money fursuits tend to cost on top of waiting for your fursuit to get made. It's not just enter your PayPal info and your 100% totally one-of-a-kind handmade fursuit arrives to your doorstep via UPS 3-day shipping. It just doesn't work that way. Depending on the maker's quota and the complexity of your fursuit's design, it can be anywhere from a few weeks to several months, or if the maker has an extensive queue, possibly even a few years. If a few years is too long for you, and I don't blame you honestly, there are of course a lot of other makers to choose from, so don't get discouraged. Getting a fursuit is not something you want to rush into, and for the love of God, do not get a suit from DHgate or any of those other knockoff sites, please and thank you. It is so hot today. I mean, it's always hot in my videos, what am I saying? Anyway, so there's fursuit types, fursuit styles, and one thing I'm saving for a future video would be fursuit expressions, like grump suits for instance, or posable eyebrows. But yeah, that's about all I have for this video. I honestly couldn't have made this video happen without the support of my subscribers, my patrons, my friendo Shonde, and of course, all the suitors and photographers in this video, which I really hope I properly credited. Please don't hurt me if I made a mistake. I tried my best, But yeah, if you found this video helpful, consider giving it a like, maybe leave a comment, share it with your other friendos, subscribe, and ring the little bell thing. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye!